Okay, so this is number 5 from 1.01 that a lot of people missed. Determine if the equation represents y as a function of x, and the equation is y squared equals x plus 4. So you have to solve it for y. We want to get y as regular, so we take the square root of both sides, and when we do, we get y equals plus or minus the square root of x plus 4. So let's talk about this plus or minus sign. So if you have plus or minus 4, what that really means is 4 and negative 4. We're just writing this in a condensed version just to make it more efficient. So if you have plus or minus the square root of 2, that is negative square root of 2 and positive square root of 2. It's two things. Okay, we're saying that we have a positive square root of 2 and we have a negative square root of 2. Okay, so this is our input. We're going to plug it into our function, and this is going to be our output, right? So negative 2, so plus or minus the square root of negative 2 plus 4, which is this plus or minus the square root of 2. Can't simplify that any further, so that is your output. It is also negative square root of 2 and square root of 2. So there are two values here, okay? So for negative 1, plus or minus the square root, negative 1 plus 4, plus or minus the square root of 3. So that is our output. So plus or minus 0 plus 4. This is plus or minus the square root of 4. What is the square root of 4? It is not the square root of 2, okay? It is just regular 2, so plus or minus 2. A lot of y'all put the square root of 2. When you take the square root of something, the square root goes away, because it's like when you add, the plus symbol goes away because you've done what you're supposed to do with it, okay? So don't mess that up, okay? All right, so for when x is 1, plus or minus 1 plus 4, which is the square plus or minus square root of 5. Plus or minus when x is 2, so 2 plus 4, plus or minus the square root of 6. And then plus or minus the square root of 3 plus 4, which is plus or minus the square root of 7. Okay, so is this a function? What determines if it's a function? Does every input have exactly one output? Here's our input, here's our output. This negative 2 is tied to how many outputs? 2, right? Because this is 1 and this is 2. So no, it is not a function because input is repeated. Okay, thank you.